Hi everyone! So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my first ever unit study, which is focusing on space. And so if this is something that you're interested in as far as what books I used or how I planned it out, be sure to stick around. Welcome back to my channel, Woman on a Journey. If you are new here, my name is Emily and I'm a first-year homeschooling mom. On this channel, I talk about all things motherhood, living a healthy lifestyle, homeschool, and faith. So if any of those things interest you, be sure to hit that subscribe button below and click that bell on the side. That will give you notifications for whenever I post new videos. You can also follow me on social media at A Woman on a Journey blog, and you can visit my blog over at awomanonajourney.com. So back in about December, I ended up asking my son what's something he wanted to learn. You know, the science curriculum that we were doing, a lot of everything that was being taught in there were things that he was taught and just kind of did in pre-K. And so I just saw his interest not really fully being there. And so I just personally didn't know what more to do. And so I ended up asking him what he wanted to learn. He told me he wanted to learn about space. And so I said, all right, let's do it. Not ever doing a unit study, obviously, because this is my first time homeschooling. And, you know, we have curriculum set up and everything. And I was pretty sure I was going to be in over my head. But I knew I wanted to keep it simple because he's just 5 years old. And I wasn't going to try to go all in depth or anything like that, but I wanted him to get a good grasp. So I definitely wanted him to learn what it is he wanted to know. So I asked him what are some of the things he wants to know about. He said he wanted to know what a meteor is. He wanted to know more about the planets. And so I just basically wrote down some of the questions he had. And then I added some things also that would be fun for us to just kind of learn together. And then I just started doing research on some books, and some of them I bought, some of them I got at the library, and then I just started doing research and looking at a couple of different resources, and just decided, all right, let's do this. And so it took me about maybe, I want to say, a week to figure out what books I wanted to get, figure out how I wanted to plan it as far as the order in which I wanted to plan what we were going to start learning. And one of the things I didn't put us on is we're not on a strict schedule on learning any of the material. I don't want to rush it. I don't want to put pressure on either one of us. And so, which is really great because it's something that I'm putting together. And so I figured, you know, we'll just take our time, and, you know, each day is different. Some days we might be able to get to it, and there might be a day that we may miss. And so far we've been doing it, and we've only missed one day, and that's okay. Like I said, I just wanted it to be simple. I wanted him to have fun with it and just really learn. And I wanted us to learn together. I thought it would be fun for us to learn something together. And so we're focusing on that. So I'm going to share with you guys the books, all the resources I got, why I got them, and kind of how I planned out our schedule and learning everything. Some things I did also get from Teachers Pay Teachers, and there's a couple other free resources. So everything that I am going to be talking about in this video, I'm going to link it in the description below. So now I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see everything. So starting off, I want to show you guys basically the core of the curriculum that I basically created. I don't think I should call it curriculum, but whatever. The information that I'm using is coming out of 2 of these books. And I actually got, I think, another 2 more books on top of this and ended up returning them to the library because I just thought that this was enough information for what we needed. So this is my book here. This is the National Geographic Kids, Little Kids' First Big Book of Space. And I really like this book because it's very simple and to the point. And I feel like it gives just enough information. Like, it's not overbearing for young kids or any kids who have a short attention span. So I really like that about this book. It goes into meteors, it goes into comets. You have the different planets in here. And then, the pictures are really nice. And you also have like a breakdown, just a breakdown of like every part of the solar system. But like I said, it's very simple. Here you go, the galaxy as well. And so I really like this book, and it's been great. The other book that I got, and this one I actually got from the library, but it's definitely worth having in our bookshelf for sure. This is the DK First Space Encyclopedia. This book, so this book I think is great for kids anywhere from like 4 all the way to like probably 8 years old, maybe even 9. But this one I say would go anywhere from about 6 or 7 to about maybe 10 or 11, maybe even 12. But this book is really great. There's a lot of information in here. The pictures are gorgeous. And something like this, the Great Galaxies, what we ended up doing is when we were learning about the galaxies, I had him do like a little art project after. And so he had to draw his version of the different galaxies. And so this was really great. And I like the fact that it talks about the astronauts and how they train. And this was just a really great book. Now, we're not going to go into everything in here. There is, as you can see, a lot of information. And most of it we'll touch on, but not everything. It's just a lot of information. And like I said, I didn't want to overdo it, even though I think I kind of did. I didn't want to overdo it because he's only 5. So there's little things that we will keep out. Now, we are a Christian family, so even though we believe in creation, I have taught my son that there are about the Big Bang Theory and just the other, what other people believe as far as when it comes to space and how everything came about. So I don't want him, even though he's 5, I don't want him to not know those things, but I also am going to implement what we believe as a Christian family. So like I said, these books are great and they are the core of our study. The next one I want to share with you is 2 books. This one is probably about a couple years older than this one, but they're both really great devotionals. We do our Bible in the morning, but every time usually the science is what we'll get to in the afternoon, and we will get to it most days between 3 and 5 days a week. So it really just depends on the week. So we will open up with a devotional from here, and I have some tabs here and for the different devotionals, and everything will be focused on whatever it is we're learning. So if we're learning about the sun, then we will focus on a devotional that talks about the sun. If we're talking about how the universe came into existence, we'll have that. And so if it's the moon, we'll talk about that. So this is really great. I basically just have a notebook with what all these tabs have to do with. So if we're talking about the moon, which devotions talk about the moon in each book, which ones talk about the stars, and so on. So that's basically how we get started. And either before or after, we'll read a story relating to whatever it is that we're studying. So the next books that I want to share with you guys, start with this one. This one is the one we're going through right now. And let's see if I can zoom in here a little bit. So this one is the new Magic School Bus. So it's the Magic School Bus Rides Again. And this is Satellite Space Mission. Now, this is a really great book. It is a chapter book. And I wasn't sure how my son was going to keep up with it, if he was even going to like it. The pictures are black and white. I'm still trying to figure him out as to whether any of that stuff really matters to him. This is great because the pictures are simple. Even though they're black and white, you can still see something. There's not a lot of text on the page. And so we're going to be going through a chapter. And sometimes we'll go through a second chapter because my son wants to continue hearing what's happening next. So I'm really grateful that this is worked out. In my opinion, I think the original Magic School Bus is always better. I definitely couldn't have done any kind of unit study on space without looking up Magic School Bus books. And we'll also be watching some of the shows as well. So what we'll be doing is every Friday is kind of like our fun Friday for when it comes to anything regarding this space unit. And so we're going to either focus on 2 episodes of a show, and it could be Magic School Bus. It might be a different show. I have a whole list of them as far as what we're going to watch. I also have a couple of movies. So we'll be doing that, or we'll have an activity and things like that. So that's kind of what we'll be focusing on Fridays. We won't really do too much other than reading and whatever books that we have set. We won't actually be doing an in-depth study. So the next one is the Magic School Bus. This is another chapter book, and this is Space Explorers. I got this one from the library, and this is a little bit shorter chapter book, but again, it has some pictures. And so after we're done with the other one, we'll go through this one, and let's see. This one has less pictures, so I'm not sure. Let's see how this one goes. This one, Ready, Jet, Go. If you have a child who watches this show, then this might be a good read for them. And so my son doesn't watch this show, but I just saw it and I figured I'd pick it up anyway. These books. So these books are also going to be part of our curriculum, sort of. So I'm going to use this, specifically Spaceships and Rockets. So when we're talking about it in one of the books I showed you before, we'll also be using this. And this is just kind of like another learning book and just more specifics. And then these are USborne Books, Sun, Moon, and Stars. So we've done the sun already. We're going through the moon. And so we just go through the actual pages that talk about those things. And then those are just quick little reads. And then we haven't gone through this one yet, but this one will be when we go through the planets specifically. Then this will be the book that we will use as a reference as well. The other book that I wanted to share with you guys, this is probably my favorite. I got this book at a really great deal on Amazon. I think it was about $12.99, and this comes with 8 books inside. And if you can see here, so we'll be focusing on these 2 right here, which is Curious George Discovers the Stars and Curious George Discovers Space. But there's a whole bunch here. You have the planets, the ocean. You have here the senses, recycling. This one's season, and then germs. And so this is a really great deal. These books are normally about $6 to $8 each. And so being able to find all of them in this big book was just awesome. So I'm really glad we got this. My son has enjoyed Curious George books before. So this is just to give you a glimpse. If you're not studying space or doing any other kind of studies, I mean, this is a great variety in this book. The next books I want to share with you guys, more Magic School Bus, Lost in the Solar System. Magic School Bus presents our solar system. You have Living on Mars, Working in Space, If You Had Your Birthday Party on the Moon. Now this book surprised me. We did this book one day and I couldn't even get to teach him anything because everything pretty much was being taught in this book. And so this book was just great, a great story to read, and is full of so many facts. And so there's these boxes here, and a lot of the pages have these boxes, so they're just filled with more information or a deeper explanation of things that are mentioned in the story. So it was a little long. I personally got a little tired reading it just because I didn't expect it to take as long. But like I said, we never even got to anything as far as what I had planned for us to read in the other books because everything was just pretty much in this book. So we got this book in the library. It was definitely a great one. This one is If You Decide to Go to the Moon. This is Outer in Space and Mission to Pluto. So these are basically all the books. I know I said I wanted to keep everything simple because he's 5, and this is basically what simple meant for me. I did also get some things since we're going to be studying the moon right now. Then I have these that I got from Teachers Pay Teachers, and I printed them out on cardstock, laminated them. I'm going to cut them up, and so we can start focusing on the different phases of the moon. So I really liked these. Actually, I'm not sure if this was Teacher Pay Teachers or if I got this from Homeschool Compass. I'll have to double check, but like I said, everything that I'm talking about here is going to be linked in the description below, and so you'll be able to go back to it and reference it. Here, this one, again, I'm not sure if it's Teachers Pay Teachers or Homeschool Compass, but anyways, these are, I'm going to be cutting them up, and this is just when we go over the planets. We'll be doing some fun little drills to see if he remembers which planet is which. And in a way, we'll be going over vocabulary as well. So this will be great. Now, this is very similar, but it has like information, just facts about that planet. And so this is a really great one too. This one is definitely Teachers Pay Teachers. And I got all of this stuff for free. Like I didn't pay a cent at all. But even some of the stuff that you do have to pay for, it really is inexpensive. And a lot of these teachers do a great job. So when we go over the phases of the moon, we're also going to be doing the Oreo cookie little project. And so this will be fun to do. Next, we're going to be doing these solar. Now, the solar, I printed out both of these because I wasn't sure if my son was just going to want to color them and then cut them. So I'm going to give him the option to do whatever he wants. Basically, you will cut these out, and then he's going to put them in order of the moon. I mean, sorry, not the moon, of the solar system. So whatever order they're supposed to be in, this will help him to know their order. And this is something very similar as well. So these are just kind of some busy work in a sense for him. This is just tracing the names of the planets. And then this, I put this little coloring book together for him. So it has different planets. He started coloring already. He doesn't know that Neptune's not red yet. But we'll get there. He already colored Earth. And so, and then back here, we have some more like vocabulary. So you have star. I think we have something else back here. This little maze. Color by number. Here you go, more. Yeah, so this is just something fun for him to do on some downtime. And then I also got him I got this for him for Christmas since I knew we were going to be focusing on the solar system. And so this is a big floor puzzle. I absolutely love anything Melissa and Doug. I love all of their wood puzzles. I love everything. I've gotten so many things for my son throughout the years from Melissa and Doug, and the quality has just been great. So it was kind of a no-brainer to get him. My son does have a space puzzle, the wooden one, so it's smaller. This is a floor puzzle. So I figured it'll be fun to do, especially as we're learning the planets. We can kind of have some fun going over it and just some downtime and just a break. Now, I did want to show you guys how I plan out the lessons, but it's on my computer on OneNote, and the screen, I tried to test it out and the screen just wasn't showing on the camera. So I'll just explain to you really quickly. So what I ended up doing was I took, like I said, a week to kind of plan everything out. I wrote down the pages of everything that we were going to work on. So if it was the moon, every page of every book that talks about the moon, what books talk about the moon, what YouTube videos I wanted to use as part of our supplement, and just additional information, what movies or shows are going to go in that category. So every tab on OneNote says moon, sun, stars, and then each individual planet. And so I broke it down that way so that it was an easy reference for me. And again, I said I didn't want to overdo it. I still kind of did though. But for me, it just helped me to be better organized. And that's just kind of how I operate. So I hope you found this video helpful and encouraging. If you have never done a unit study before, whether you're a new homeschooling mom or you're a mom that has been homeschooling for a while and has been looking at starting a unit study for the first time, I hope that this helps you, especially if you're doing something on space. But the same method, the same concepts you can use towards any unit study, especially if you have young children that, you don't necessarily have to go completely all out. Go based on what they're interested in and even what you're interested in. And I think that that's what's been making this more fun for us and something to look forward to on a daily basis. And so, like I said, all the links to everything I mentioned in the video will be linked in the description below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as it'll help me with my channel. And be sure to subscribe. And if you have done your unit study before, let me know in the comments below what your favorite unit study to do has been. And, maybe some of the resources you also use to bring into your unit study curriculum that you're putting together. I'd love to hear about it. I'm definitely already thinking about what unit study to do next. I think we might do it on the ocean. So if that's something that you would be interested in seeing on how we do it on the oceans, then definitely let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.